Welcome to Co-op Guild. This is Steve with a review for Vainglory's Grotto. Note, we were provided a review copy of this game. Kinfire Delve Vainglory's Grotto is a fully cooperative 1 to 2 player dungeon delve that is played entirely through cards and dice-based skill checks. Note, it is possible to play up to 4 players with an additional copy of the game. Each player will take on the role of a seeker character from Kinfire and try to efficiently play cards from the unique 18 card deck to work their way through the well deck of various events, combat, traps, and challenges. Players win the game by revealing and defeating the boss at the end of the delve deck, or the wells deck in this case. Players lose the game if the team's health reaches 0 or by some other loss condition. Let's start by talking about the setup and cleanup for the game. This is a small box game, so it's actually very easy to bring this to the table and set it up and play it and put it away. There's only a few decks you need to pull out, and there's some dice and some additional tokens to keep track of progress, and that's it. So this is easily something you can pull out, play, and put away in an hour or less. Very, very doable, very easy to bring to the table. The component quality of this game, honestly, I was very impressed. The box is very thick and sturdy. The art is beautiful. There's foil on the card as well, which really makes them stand out. Some of the cards are even embossed with this cool texture element on top of it. Just the whole production quality of this is not what I expected in the best of ways. So overall, a really great value for what you're paying for this game. Learnability, this is a very easy to learn game. There's really not many rules to it. It's pretty easy to pick up and play. Basically, it's like, hey, on your turn, you play a single card. Everyone else can play up to 2 cards to boost you. And you really just have to focus on the colors matching the challenges you're going after, the card you play, and the boost cards that everyone else plays. And then you roll a dice, see the result, and move on, and rinse and repeat. It is a very easy turn structure with most of the elements you're learning is by reading the cards on in front of you. There is iconography, but the icons are used frequently throughout the game, so you will become very familiar with them. And on the back of the rulebook, there is a guide for what the icons do, so it's very easy to learn the game in this space. So initially, I was a little worried about the engagement, that because the game would last a really long time due to needing to go through all the cards in the well deck to get to the boss. But I was pleasantly surprised that was not the case, since most of the rewards you get is to remove cards from top of the deck, and it really keeps the game moving quickly because you're not going to have to go through all 57 cards. On top of that, each player is only playing a single card, and so there's not much to resolve in that sense. And everyone else, if it's not your turn, you're invested in that card because you are able to play boost cards to help modify their success or the amount of progress they're able to put on different challenges. And so you're constantly talking about, which challenge should we do in what order, because that's also part of the puzzle. And then trying to figure out, I only have blue boost cards in my hand. Can you play blue action cards that can help you a lot in that situation? Or who around the table has I've got the green action. Do you have someone else to help with that, or some other ability can trigger? So I found being engaged in this game through the entire playthrough. I really thought they did a great job when it came to the design decisions around this. Let's take a moment to talk about the decision space in the game. So first off, each character you play, the Seekers, feel very unique and different from each other. There's a tank in there which can prevent damage, and basically a thief that can avoid situations completely. And so they play very different. There's a lot of cool synergies and combos within each deck to explore. And how do you execute that for the puzzle in front of you? And that is the main aspect of this game, is the puzzle element. Because there's 57 cards in that well deck, and you must get through all those challenges. Well, not all of them, because of course you skip a few of them. But you need to get through those challenges to reach the boss. And with the different combination of challenges that come out, it provides a different puzzle because, like I said, you need to play different colors to match there. And the key element of this is when you play a card, you do not replace that card in your hand. You're just down a card. So at some point, you're going to run out of cards in your hand. In order to get cards back in your hand, you need to take an exhaustion to refill your hand size. And the exhaustion cards are always bad, and they can be really brutal in this game. And so you're doing your best to try to complete these challenges while taking the least amount of exhaustion cards as possible And that becomes a very engaging puzzle as you play through this. I was really enjoying that quite a bit. Now let's talk about the variety of this. Variety was a bit of a mixed bag for me. On one hand, I enjoyed playing as the Seekers and trying different ones out. That was really, really cool, but there's only two of them. And as much as I enjoyed exploring what each of them had, if you play two players, you're going to see the same characters in every single game you play because that's all you have is just those two characters. Now, this is probably only be a temporary issue because there's plans for having additional Kinfire Delve games coming out. There's 2 additional boxes planned with 2 additional Seekers in each box, so you have up to 6, and you can mix and match between them. I suspect that's going to help solve this issue I have with seeing only these characters in every single game I play. So until that comes out, we'll have to reevaluate that. And I expect this not to be a big issue, but I want to point out right now that I think, for me at least, that character choice variety is important to me, and that is limited in the current release of this product. Now, the boss also has 3 different states you can fight, which I thought was a really nice touch, because you don't really know what the main strategy of facing the boss will be until you reach them, but the cards that protect the boss are always the same. So on one hand, you've got like, oh, cool, I really don't know how to approach this. But on the other hand, you do know once you play it through once, like a general idea up how to reach or how to make the boss vulnerable to damage when it comes down to it. So a little bit of a mixed bag there. The well deck, however, is 57 cards, and I'm very happy to say that there's cards in that deck that I have not seen come up in the plays of my game. So there's a lot of variety in that sense, and I think they did a great job there. The final thing to talk about, of course, because this is Co-op Guild, cooperation. I found the cooperation very good. There's lots of discussion with the players talking about how to approach the combination of challenges in front of you to make it through the Delve deck a little bit further. What can I do to help you? Because there are some cooperative elements. For example, Core, he's got a self-sacrifice ability where he can prevent damage to other players, and you can even get rid of or completely avoid some challenges, and there's some smart decisions on when to do that. You may want to put partial progress on a specific challenge so that we can leverage more points on it in the future. There's just a lot of unique approaches to that based upon the cards in your hand, and you start learning those as you play the game. Long story short, there's a lot of discussion happening, which is a very good sign for a cooperative game. I thought they did a great job with this one. Now, there's an element that when you get down on your hand size, you have less options, so you'll be less to do. But because this is an efficiency puzzle, those moments are going to be few and far between. You want to keep your hand as full as possible, so that ultimately becomes part of the puzzle anyway. Who would like this game? Kinfire Delve is absolutely an efficiency puzzle wrapped up in a quick playing card game. Anybody who likes to work out puzzles in a discussion would probably enjoy this game. Now, there is some dice rolling without mitigation, but in our experiences, those dice rolls have not been a significant impact to any decisions we made throughout the game. They were just a known modifier with a little bit of luck in there to make the game exciting when things went your way or did not go your way. But very much, if the puzzle element is something you're seeking out for a game, there's not a whole lot of narration or a strong theme that comes out necessarily in the challenges you attempt. There is some theme in the characters you play. So if you're looking for something with just a light amount of theme and a puzzle, this might be for you. So, final thoughts about the game. As a quick reminder, we will provide a review copy of this. This was a surprise for me. I sometimes worry about these Dungeon Delve games with that card base because some of them are just okay, but this one was actually quite good. The puzzles really added a lot to the game for me. It's not a game that I would pull out very frequently due to the lack of character choice, like I said earlier. For me, that's a big thing for me in games, is I like to have some variety in what characters I play each time I pull out a game. But like I said, I'm optimistic this is only a temporary issue when the other characters become available. It'll be fun to try different combinations of characters. But there's a lot of potential to grow the system with some interesting well decks or dungeon decks. I can see them really pushing the envelope on what that means, what you can do with the challenges, because right now it's all based upon the same idea. get through the deck, fight the boss. And being able to provide unique flavors for each of the bosses and even what's inside the challenge decks could be a very cool way to explore what this game has to offer. So I'm looking forward to see what comes up in the future for that. As is now, this is actually a very good value game for only $20 for what you get in here. I mean, it was worth the experience for sure, in my opinion. It's not a game that's going to dominate my table. This is definitely one of those games that, hey, I've got a little bit of time, I'll pull it out on the table, play a quick game, put it away. Or if I need some filler from people visiting, we'll pull it out and play it. But it's a fun one. I enjoy this one. It's something I can easily see coming to me on conventions or trips due to the starting of the box. It seems ideal for those types of settings in my experience. And since this review is dropping around the holiday season, this seems like an excellent choice for a stocking stuffer gift if you're looking for something along that lines. Hope this review was helpful. If you have any questions or concerns or anything else you want to know about the game, drop a comment in the section below. And I'll see you next time at the guild. Bye-bye.